a very good Friday morning to everybody out there. Welcome to this Friday edition of the Regular Fan Show, hosted by the fans for the fans. As we get nice and set up on TikTok here. It is Vinny Fredericks, Bruce Juno with you again, talking all things Super Bowl today. As let's see, how do I get my camera on TikTok here? There we go. All right, we're back. We're ready to go. We're rocking. We're rolling. Bruce, my buddy, drinking your ball soda again, I see.
Yep,
Morning.
my one a day.
There we go.
One a day.
There we go. You know, who
One
needs
a day,
coffee
man.
when you got balls? Am I right?
Yeah, dude. Apparently they got some pretty good caffeine in them. So, hey, man.
And like what, 50 something grams of sugar?
Yeah, we don't talk about that. But, it'd be what it be.
Yeah, it'd be what it be. And it's a football field Friday for us today. Super Bowl in just a couple days here, coming up on Sunday. Before we get to that, I mean, I feel like we also got to talk about the NFL Honors Awards that happened last night, as it's a big weekend for football. You know, that's the main theme of today's show. And I guess we'll start out with some of the other awards out there. Let's see. Jaguars defensive lineman Eric Armstead won Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Niners tight end George Kittle won the Salute to Service award. Former Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson was named Assistant Coach of the Year. Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores was he was second in voting, and Aaron Glenn finished third in voting for Assistant Coach of the Year. Kevin O'Connell of the Minnesota Vikings wins Coach of the Year. Bruce, are you surprised at all that Kevin O'Connell was named Coach of the Year?
I mean, I guess not necessarily. Did he deserve it? I would say yes. I think he turned around the Vikings team. I wouldn't say he turned it around, but bringing in Sam Darnold after your franchise rookie incoming quarterback comes in, he goes down injured before the regular season even starts, and you got to deal with a guy named Sam Darnold who no one expects to be good.
Nobody expected much out of him.
And hey, very positive season with a guy no one expects to be good. So I feel like he deserved it. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all the other I'm trying to remember who were finalists for Coach of the Year, but I mean, none of them really. I mean, they were your typical, Sean McDermott's, your Andy Reid's.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin O'Connell seemed like the main, favorite here. As let's see,
Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn.
Yep,
Andy
Dan Campbell,
Reid, Sean Payton.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody else was really if anyone was gonna have any sort of hope at beating Kevin O'Connell for this award, it probably would have been Dan Quinn, just because they were in a very similar situation where not much was expected of them. Certainly nobody thought that they were going to be, a playoff team, let alone making it to the NFC Championship. So Dan Quinn certainly deserves his flowers for what he did in Washington. But I mean, when your starting quarterback goes down before the season even starts, and you're bringing in a guy in Sam Darnold, who, for lack of a better term, is not exactly proven in the NFL, hasn't exactly shown that he deserves, hasn't really shown that he deserves to be a starting quarterback, and he leads you to what did they go 14-3 in the regular season?
14-3, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's some great stuff right there. I know that their playoff performance was subpar, but for a regular season award, you gotta tip your cap to Kevin O'Connell just for the way he was able to completely, save that Minnesota Vikings season, maybe even save Sam Darnold's career. He's a free agent now. We might see him get a decent contract from a team desperate for a quarterback, and that's all because of Kevin O'Connell.
There's quite a few out there too.
Yeah, exactly. It's all thanks to Kevin O'Connell giving Sam Darnold his confidence back, and I'm sure the Vikings with JJ McCarthy back under center next season, I'm sure that they'll be just fine with him instead of Sam Darnold. So congrats to Kevin O'Connell. gets his, I'm assuming, first ever Coach of the Year award, and very well deserved. Very well deserved. Comeback Player of the Year ends up going to a guy that many know, many thought he could have been in the running for MVP had his team been a little less garbage on the defensive side of the ball. That being Mr. Joe Burrow. Bruce, are you surprised that it wasn't your guy Christian Gonzalez of the New England Patriots?
Yes, dude. Bro, even Sam Darnold, even J.K. Like, brother, I don't know, bro. The Patriots sucked, whatever. But at the same time, the Bengals weren't good either. Like, they were good offensively, yeah. Like Joe Burrow. How is he a comeback player of the year? It doesn't make sense to me. He has been good. He has been good.
Yeah, well, maybe coming back from
whole season. J.K. Dobbins had about 35 injuries. Sam Darnold has always sucked, and you're going to give it to Joe Burrow. Like, I don't think that that's the right call. I mean, I think Christian Gonzalez got second, if I'm not mistaken, but I think he should have got first.
Yeah, look, actually, Christian Gonzalez was at best fourth. Because J.K. Dobbins,
I'm looking at is just wrong.
I don't know what I'm seeing on ESPN is that J.K. Dobbins and Sam Darnold finished second and third respectively. Doesn't say who was fourth and fifth between Gonzalez and Damar Hamlin, but I'm assuming Gonzalez ended up fourth, Damar Hamlin fifth, seeing as he won it last year. But
Joe Burrow, no offense to Damar, like Damar obviously.
Yeah, he played
came back
solid,
through a lot, but
he came back and
last
he could be a
year,
starter.
and yeah.
Joe Burrow, I mean, yes, he's battled injuries his whole career. He came back, had a good statistical season. They didn't win much at all, though. If you want to talk about a guy who came back from something and won, J.K. Dobbins came back from injuries too, and they made the playoffs. Sam Darnold came
back from mental injuries.
Sam Darnold came back from seeing ghosts out there on the field and found a way to actually be a good quarterback in the NFL. So I think Sam Darnold, I would have given it to Sam Darnold too. Not that Joe Burrow didn't obviously have his own comebacks that he had to, overcome, but I just don't know how you look at this list of players and don't give it to Sam Darnold. I don't know. I'm a little shocked there.
Coach, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way, Joe Burrow, AP Comeback Player of the Year award winner. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Former UAlbany Great Dane. Just want to throw that out there. Jared Verse of the LA Rams wins Defensive Rookie of the Year after leading all rookies with 18 quarterback hits, 50 quarterback pressures, and 4.5 sacks. Was fifth among rookies. The number 19 pick out of Florida State. Bruce, are you surprised at all that Jared Verse?
Nah, he's a stud, dude. He's a stud. Like, that man is going to be a killer. He already is a killer. Like, he deserved it. I don't know. I mean, obviously the Rams, statistical season, maybe not the greatest, but defensively they were solid, and it was a lot in part due to Jared Verse. So I think he deserved it. I think that one's not much of a shocker.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised at all. And I mean, it's obviously nice to see former UAlbany Great Dane coming out of the nice town of upstate New York get himself a big win in the NFL. And I'm sure he's probably happy too that he was able to beat 2 Philadelphia Eagles out for Defensive Player of the Year, because we know, we all know after the divisional round how Jared Verse feels about Eagles and their fans. So, I'm not too surprised either. I'm happy for Jared Verse, happy for a former Great Dane, and yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him. I mean, all these guys that were on the ballot here for Defensive Rookie of the Year do. It looks like Verse received 39 or 37 first place votes. Quinyon Mitchell of the Eagles finished second with 9, and Rams defensive tackle Braden Fisk looks like finished in third. Not sure if that's what they're implying here on ESPN, but yeah, looks like Cooper DeJean and Chop Robinson were at the bottom of the list here. But either way, congrats to Jared Verse winning Rookie of the Year. First Rookie of the Year winner for the LA Rams since Aaron Donald back in 2014. So certainly some big potential there from Jared Verse. All right, let's keep moving here. Yeah, good company to be in. Offensive Rookie of the Year came down to Brock Bowers, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, and Brian Thomas Jr., and it was Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels getting the job done. Bruce, your reaction to Jaden Daniels, Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I mean, to the surprise of anybody, like realistically,
The surprise of no one.
like, yeah. I mean, obviously, going to the NFC Championship game, playing for the Commanders, who've in recent times haven't been the greatest franchise out there, but Jaden Daniels came in, absolutely turned it around. You know, these other guys obviously put in stellar performances. Brock, you know, breaking records. You know, you had the guys like Brian Thomas, who were the only bright spot in the Jags, but Jaden Daniels deserved it. Like it's that one's 100% deserved.
Yeah,
Along with a lot of these are.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. I mean, he absolutely destroyed the competition in Rookie of the Year. Daniels received 49 of 50 first place votes, with the other one vote going to Brock Bowers. Bo Nix ended up finishing third in the voting. Jaden Daniels also won Moment of the Year at NFL Honors Awards with the Hail Mary throw to beat the Bears back in November. And you said it perfectly there, Bruce. I mean, when you come into a 4-13 football team and all of a sudden transform them into a 12-5 squad with, you know, the chance to go to the Super Bowl if you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, he simply had a historic season. He could have had the best rookie season of all time if he was able to lead the Commanders to a Super Bowl victory. But you know, still plenty of time for Jaden Daniels to get that illustrious Lombardi trophy. He's the first Washington player to win Rookie of the Year since quarterback RG3 in 2012 and became the first rookie in league history to throw for more than 3,500 yards and rush for more than 800 yards a season and in a season, and helped the Commanders average a score of 20.5 points per game, which is the most for a rookie quarterback of all time.
Which is this dude's legit. The first statistic, especially like with players out there like Lamar, like Michael Vick, like I mean even RG3 obviously wasn't as prominent, but
like of course these guys probably had these good of seasons, but to do it in your rookie year, that's clearly unheard of. So, you know, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, they'll be back next year. They got plenty of time to take advantage of Jaden Daniels, but I mean, they gotta turn this thing around quickly, though. You know, yes, you have plenty of time, but at some point, Jaden Daniels is going to want to get paid like the top quarterback that he is, and you gotta find a way to win while he's still on his rookie deal. Because once you gotta pay Jaden Daniels, everything gets that much more difficult. So, alas, congrats out there to Jaden Daniels. Certainly very well deserved. Everyone knew going into this awards season that he was the favorite for Rookie of the Year.
Top dog.
I wonder how Caleb Williams feels about not even being a nominee, but we'll see. I mean, it's not like the Bears had that good of a season anyway. So
it's not even like he had that good of a season.
No,
I mean games where he threw for like 50 yards, dude. Like,
what's he good? Statistically, like his stats weren't awful: 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. But he had some games where he didn't do a lot. You know, like he had games of throwing for 122, 131. Let's see, he had 1, 2, 3. 4. He had 4 games all season where he threw for over 300 yards. Certainly not first overall pick, Rookie of the Year-esque right there. But
especially when you have weapons. Like you have weapons. They have no O-line, don't get me wrong. But
that's the big issue. They've got no O-line. That's what it comes down to.
But they're trying to take, deep crossers and deep routes and whatnot. And you got a half a second in the pocket. I get you have DJ Moore. I get you have Keenan Allen. I get you have Rome
Yeah,
Odunze. I
but
get you have
if you
Cole Kmet. I don't
can't get the
care.
ball to these guys, if you got
Yeah,
no time to get it to them, then it doesn't matter. You could have Jerry Rice and Larry Fitzgerald and Randy Moss out there. You have
yeah.
no time in the pocket. You're
And
not getting the
Megatron.
ball to them anyway. Yeah, exactly. But
But yeah, it's like I don't know, dude. The Bears need an O line, but at the same time, it also seemed like all season he was just kind of mainly focusing DJ Moore. And yes, DJ Moore is like the franchise of Chicago.
they
It
took
feels
Rome
like
Odunze at number 9 overall in the draft. Of
that's what
course,
I'm
you
saying.
gotta look
And
at
they
some of these
trade they
guys.
or they didn't trade, but they went and got Keenan Allen. Um,
Yep.
these guys are studs, and you're just not going to utilize them.
Yeah, the offensive weapons on that team are certainly up there with the best of the best. But if he's got no time in the pocket, then he's not getting the ball to him anyway. So I'm sure the Bears are going solely offensive line and defense this offseason. So we'll see. I'd be shocked if they didn't take an offensive lineman at they picked number 10 in the draft, I want to say. I'd be shocked if they don't take an offensive lineman there. But either way,
someone.
Yeah, someone. Moving on here, Defensive Player of the Year finalists for this award came down to Zach Bound of the Eagles, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals, Patrick Surtain of the Broncos, and TJ Watt. Bruce, it ended up being Patrick Surtain, who was the first corner in 5 years to win Defensive Player of the Year. You don't look too happy about this, Bruce.
No, I like it. I like it. I just kind of sat back. I guess the sitting back cross-arm kind of gave that vibe. Yeah. No, I think I like it.
It was the okay. That's
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I thought it would be Pat Surtain or Trey Hendrickson. If I had to put my money on one of the two. But yeah, no, I think it was well deserved. Especially on a Broncos team that kind of had a bright year with Bo Nix. Defensively, were sound, and a lot of it was in part due to Pat Surtain the second. So yeah, I mean, he cooked. He cooked.
Yeah, certainly a good year out of the former Alabama corner. Like I said, first corner in 5 years to win the award. Only gave up 2 touchdowns and 306 receiving yards all year, which is the third fewest among corners with at least 50 targets. Surtain received 26 first-place votes, beating out Bengals edge rusher Trey Hendrickson, who led the league in sacks with 11 votes, not 11 sacks. And edge rusher Myles. He had like 17.
Sacking the quarterback fucking 40 times a game. Oh, pardon my French, but he was sacking the quarterback like, dude, 19 times a game, dude. He was always.
Yeah, let's see. Hendrickson finished the year with 17 and a half sacks. So
yeah, he was cooking.
Way more than 11. But and Myles Garrett finished in third with 5 first-place votes. So Patrick Surtain of the Denver Broncos, whose father is also a former NFL cornerback, he gets the job done, gets himself the illustrious Defensive Player of the Year award. On the other side of the ball, Offensive Player of the Year, in a season where, I mean, you look at the finalists here between Saquon, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson. Any one of those guys could have been Offensive Player of the Year. In another season, any one of those guys would have been Offensive Player of the Year. But it ends up going to Mr. Saquon Barkley, as he became the 9th player to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a season, only 100 yards shy of Eric Dickerson's all-time record, and his 142.7 rushing yards per game ranked as 4th most over the last 15 seasons. Bruce, you think Saquon deserved it?
Oh, 100%. My theory was proven wrong, though, where I thought Lamar was going to get it because of and then they're going to give MVP to Allen, which we'll get to. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, Josh Allen won MVP. But yeah, no, Saquon definitely deserved it. Saquon, the 9th player in history to hit 2,000 yards, almost catching Dickerson is like there's no real question as to whether or not he deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way that he took this Eagles team from already being a Super Bowl threat, but bringing them to the point where they can dominate their way to the playoffs and, dominate their way to the Super Bowl. he certainly has turned this team around in more ways than just with his legs. In the voting, Barkley received 35 of 50 first place votes. The only other player to receive more than one first place vote was Lamar Jackson, who had 12, and Derrick Henry, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. Yeah, it says Josh Allen received a first place vote despite him not being a finalist.
He was a write-in.
Yeah, maybe he was a write-in and nobody voted for Ja'Marr Chase. Maybe whoever wrote this article miswrote and meant to put in Ja'Marr Chase, but I feel like that would make sense. There's no way Ja'Marr Chase, after he won the Triple Crown, right, for receivers. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he did. The fact that he didn't even get a vote for Offensive Player of the Year, that's kind of crazy. I certainly
that helped Burrow get a lot of nominations and winning and whatnot.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, the guy finished first in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. 1,700 receiving yards, 17 touchdowns. That's pretty ridiculous. I'm surprised. Not that I'm saying Ja'Marr Chase should have won it over Saquon, but if you were to ask me to rank, who I thought was the favorite to the least favorite, I would have had Ja'Marr Chase second behind Saquon. I thought he was the number 2 guy. He was my, sleeper pick to win the award over Saquon. But I guess he never even got a first place vote. So very interesting there. Moving on, as Bruce mentioned, the MVP award ends up finally in the hands of Josh Allen after he beats out Saquon, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Lamar Jackson for the award.
And finally in the hands of a Bills quarterback.
It looks like here's the voting breakdown. Josh Allen received 27 first place votes. Lamar Jackson received 23. Josh Allen received 22 second place votes. Lamar Jackson received 26. Saquon Barkley received 25 second place votes and 19 third place. Joe Burrow received 15 second place votes and 10 third place, 12.
Yeah, because 12, he deserves it.
Or no, excuse me, 15 third place votes, 10 fourth place, and 12 fifth place votes. So very clear that the voters were deciding between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson here. But, a lot of people are bringing up the stats here that Lamar had the better stats this season than Josh Allen. So, Bruce, do you agree? Do you agree with Josh Allen being named the MVP?
Yeah. Obviously Lamar's got the stats and whatnot, blah blah blah. But look at the team around Lamar. Look at the team around Allen. It's two different. It's not two different worlds, but it's two different rosters. And Josh doing what he did with the team he got, bringing it home to Buffalo. I'm low key surprised Jim Kelly never won it. In that 4-year span of making the Super Bowl.
True,
but. Yeah, no, I think if I had to pick one of the two for the MVP this season, it definitely would have been Josh Allen. It could have gone to either of them, but I think Allen's the right man for the job.
Certainly could have gone either way, but it looks like Josh Allen, he became the first player in 21 seasons to win MVP without being selected first team All-Pro, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, he wasn't first team All-Pro. Lamar Jackson was.
Dude, I don't understand how the NFL does stuff, dude.
I know. He's one of 3 players to ever win, or one of 4, it looks like, players to ever win the award without being AP first team All-Pro. The others were John Elway in 1987 when Joe Montana was first team All-Pro, and Titans quarterback Steve McNair in 2003 when Peyton Manning was first team All-Pro. So he's the third ever to win the award without being a first team recipient. But yeah, like I said, this was one of the what'd you say?
It's a very good company.
Yeah, that is pretty solid company to be in. And it's at the end of the day, you can finally say that Josh Allen has won something.
Yeah.
No more will we see the memes where it's like Josh Allen rookie year and Josh Allen now side by side, and it's like MVP 0, rings 0, whatever 0, beard grown. We'll no longer be able to see that as he'll finally have a 1 in the MVP category. But obviously for Josh Allen, the next step is finally finding a way to defeat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs and winning a
Do
Super
what
Bowl.
Jim Kelly couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if this maybe adds a little bit of, fire under Josh Allen, knowing that he really has just one more thing to accomplish before he's pretty much accomplished at least everything once that you can in the NFL. So congrats to Josh Allen. Well deserved. If you think Lamar deserved it more, you could be right. If you think Josh Allen deserved it, you could also be right. Both guys were very deserving of the MVP awards. So makes perfect sense. The NFL Hall of Fame finalists were also announced as I look to try to get the finalists up super quick here. Headlined by Eric Allen, cornerback from the Philadelphia Eagles, New Orleans Saints, and Oakland Raiders. Jared Allen, defensive end. Yep, Jared Allen, defensive end. Kansas City Chiefs,
Antonio
Vikings,
Gates.
Bears, and Panthers. Yes, sir. Antonio Gates, tight end of the Chargers for 15 years. Sterling Sharp, wide receiver from the Green Bay Packers, the brother of Shannon Sharp, whose career was unfortunately cut short by a congenital neck condition. But, only you got to remember, in that 7-year span that Sterling Sharp was playing, only Jerry Rice caught more passes and had more touchdowns in that 7-season span. So, you forget about the health concerns. Sterling Sharp could have been one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. But either way, he gets his way into the NFL. And, I would say all these guys very well deserved it.
It's
maybe.
It's the smallest induction since 2005.
Yeah. Only
when
4
Dan
players, which
Marino,
is
Steve
interesting.
Young, Benny Friedman, and Fritz Pollard.
Yeah, very interesting that they only had 4 players inducted, but hey, what are you going to do? Eric Allen was in his 19th year of eligibility. Jared Allen in his 5th year. Tight end Antonio Gates and wide receiver Sterling Sharp were in there. Let's see. It doesn't say here what year of eligibility they were in, but it says Sterling Sharp was the senior finalist selected for enshrinement. So obviously, big congrats out to these guys. All very well deserved. Certainly some guys that were on the ballot that didn't make it, some would call a snub, if you will. I've seen plenty of discourse out there that Eli Manning is not in the Hall of Fame. He'll get there. Don't worry. I'm not surprised he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer either. I mean, yes, he won 2 Super Bowls, but come on, statistically speaking, he wasn't. It's not like he was Tom Brady or one of the greats out there. He beat Tom Brady twice. Cool. He won 2 rings, but I still wouldn't call him a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, when he led the league in interceptions at least once, I don't know if you can really make it first ballot at that point. But either way, Eli's going to make it. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Just give him a year or two, and he'll make it. A couple other names that did not make the Hall of Fame this year. Adam Vinatieri is one that certainly people could call a snub.
That's been going around a lot, and I think he deserves it. I think he's the greatest kicker of all time.
Yeah, 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time All-Pro, NFL scoring leader, 2000s All-Decade team, 100th anniversary all-time team. Yeah, the guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame, obviously, for sure. I think he could have been a first ballot for sure. Luke Kuechly is another name that I think could have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he just didn't have the accolades to back it up. We know how great of a player Luke Kuechly was.
Yeah.
But his career was kind of cut short, never got a Super Bowl or anything like that. So he's another guy that I think certainly will make it. Honestly, a lot of these guys on this list here that I'll read off are going to be Hall of Famers eventually. Just, it's tough to be a first ballot Hall of Famer with the other guys on this list here. Steve Smith Sr., Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Fred Taylor, Terrell Suggs, Marshall Yanda, Darren Woodson, Jahrai Evans, and Willie Anderson all were finalists to not make the Hall of Fame. So a lot of guys here that eventually
they will. It's not that they're not going to. It's like they will.
Yeah, but to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, you got to be, one of the best legends the sport has ever seen. And
yeah, exactly.
obviously that's incredibly difficult to do. So those guys, I'm sure, will still find their way into the Hall of Fame eventually. But for now, the 4 heading in, like I said, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. Huge congrats out to them. All right, Bruce.
And who's
There
also in
is
the Hall of Fame, Jim Kelly.
there you go. There you go. Bruce, there's a big game coming up on Sunday.
Is there now?
I can't remember what it is, but people keep talking about some big game on Sunday.
Yeah, I thought they just had to go to the bathroom.
The Super Bowl coming up Sunday night, 6:30 on Fox. I'm looking at it right now, Bruce. The spread was even for a second. Kansas City is a -1 in what is obviously one of
We're taking donations to go, by the way.
Yeah, if you want to pay for the regular fan show to
donate,
broadcast live from the Super Bowl,
a little over $5,000.
Yeah, tickets are as low as $25.66. So it's certainly possible.
Yeah,
we love our fans.
To I don't even know.
I'll take some money out of the GoFundMe for me to become the Cowboys owner. I'll slide some of that towards our Super Bowl tickets.
You have a GoFundMe for you to go become the Cowboys owner? We should start that.
No, but we talked about starting that a couple weeks ago when the Cowboys hired Brian Schottenheimer.
Dude, so it's all you. You're the next up to the plate, brother.
I know. I'm gonna try. I guess we'll start off with how each team got here in the 2024-25 NFL playoff bracket. And we start with Kansas City, who got into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. They ended up facing the Houston Texans in the divisional round, defeat them 23-14 in a game that was, I'm not going to say decided by the refs. Some people would say that. Some people made post-game comments in the locker room about the refs. I'm not going to get into the Chiefs and the referees, but all I will say, which I've said before, Bruce, is that it's not a good look when you have players post-game talking about it and Hall of Famers in your, analyst booth or table, whatever, talking about it.
Well, did you see how the refs went out and said that what's it called? Like, it's disgusting that people even think that,
Roger Goodell basically called anyone insane if they really believe that the refs are helping the Chiefs win.
Yeah,
which makes sense. Of course he's going to say that.
Yeah, and it's also it's not supposed to happen.
Yeah. But
you're not supposed to cheat, but you know what? Sometimes people take steroids.
Yeah. Sometimes people do what it takes to win games, and I don't know, whatever sacrifice the Chiefs made.
I saw a good one. It was Taylor Swift's been paying off the refs.
Maybe
with her, her big money.
Who knows? It's certainly a possibility. I mean, we saw it happen again in Chiefs Bills, as that was another one where, there were certainly some plays. The Chiefs ended up winning that one 32-29. There were certainly some plays in there that were discussed for the better part of a week afterwards. A certain 30-something yard completion to Xavier Worthy, a certain 4th down QB sneak. Yeah,
bro, that QB sneak was bad, dude. That was so bad.
Yeah, there were certainly some some issues in that game, and it's all thanks to Jordan here in our TikTok chat for buying 2 of the refs Taylor Swift tickets. So now we know it was Jordan's our guy. Jordan's the one who has been bribing the refs. I don't know when Jordan became a Chiefs fan, but the Chiefs organization is certainly happy that he is. So Chiefs, like I mentioned, wins over the Texans and the Bills. Back for I don't even know. It's got to be their 4th time in 5 years. It's their 3rd straight, obviously. I mean, Mahomes in his career has been in the Super Bowl more often than he's not.
Dude, have you seen
That's crazy.
The what are they called? I don't know what you call them. The conspiracy behind the Like the Super Bowl logo, and then the teams that are gonna make the
Oh,
Super
oh
Bowl.
yeah, that the colors are always the same teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this year
I
it's
feel like
red
that
and
never
green.
is it really?
Yes.
I feel like everybody always says that that's something that's gonna happen, and then like I thought like last year it was purple or something, so people thought the Ravens were gonna make it.
I think last year was purple, but this year it's red and
But
green.
that is yeah, that is something that people always it is red and green. You're right. I don't know. That is something that I've seen floating around. Um, but you know what? Like I said, Mahomes, Kansas City, they've been doing this year in and year out. No one's surprised to see them back there. The Eagles, no one's surprised to see them there either. That's their third Super Bowl, or excuse me, second Super Bowl in 3 years after missing the cut last year. Um, Eagles, they came into the playoffs as a number 2 seed. They ended up facing the Packers in the wild card round, defeat them 22-10, defeat the Rams 28-22 in the divisional round. So 2 games that the Eagles won decently, decisively, but there were also some opportunities for the Rams and the Packers to put the Eagles away. There were certainly some opportunities for one of those teams to come back and win those games. So as good as the Eagles played in those ones, they certainly could have been beat. And then they come out against the Commanders in the NFC Championship and absolutely destroy them, force 3 turnovers. Saquon runs for a touchdown on the first play. They win that one 55-23, most points ever put up in a conference championship game in NFL history. And now they find themselves in New Orleans getting ready for the Super Bowl. So, Bruce, first, I'll ask you, are you surprised by the matchup at all? And what way are you leaning here?
Um, Sorry, I was just digging back into the time of the logos. Um,
Well, what'd you find on the logos there?
Dude,
Were they
I've been
all
going back, dude. I'm back to Super Bowl 55 when the Bucks beat the Chiefs,
were the
and
logos the same color?
it's mostly red with a hint of like a yellowish like tan. And if you think about the Chiefs and the Bucks, they both have some like the Chiefs have that like yellow, and then the Bucks have that like white. And so like if you put them together, you get tan. But it's mostly red, and both teams are red. So yeah, I don't know, man. I've been over here just going back, seeing seeing what the hell look like, and
All right, all
uh
right. So Bruce has officially dived down the rabbit hole and become a conspiracy
yeah, dude,
theorist.
I'm bad. I'm bad, dude. Yeah, but anyway, I want to lean Eagles, and I'll give you my I want to lean Eagles. I do. Um,
Okay, okay.
but because they have like yes, the Chiefs have Mahomes. Cool, whatever. All right, you're in the Super Bowl. It's the best 2 teams. You can't just be like they have Mahomes anymore, in my opinion. But um, it's if they can get Saquon going,
Mhm.
and if AJ Brown plays plays football, like
Yeah.
if he actually shows up,
Yeah,
if
he
Hurts
showed up
hits
in the
the ball.
conference championship.
Exactly. So I think if those two, I really do think it will be decided with those two because I mean the Chiefs defense is no joke. Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Nick Bolton, Trent McDuffie, Justin Reed,
Mhm.
like they have a great defense. So it's
They
really
do.
going to come down to if those two can get going. Because um if you think about how all season long the Chiefs defense against running backs has just 95% of the time you see them in the backfield. Like it's there's no question to it. So it's like it's if they can get going, if Saquon can break something, if AJ Brown can get open against Trent McDuffie, Justin Reed, whoever, even Devontae Smith. Like it really depends. But I think if those two can get going offensively, then I think the Eagles will come away with the win.
Yeah, fair enough. Good breakdown from you. The last time these two teams did match up, it was in the regular season of 2023. Jalen Hurts ran for 2 second-half touchdowns in that one as Philly beat the Chiefs 21-17 last time they faced off. So that's a bit of momentum in the Eagles' favor. Looking at the teams overall, statistically speaking, this season, Chiefs offense 16th overall, 22nd in rushing, 14th in passing, 15th in scoring. Their defense, 9th overall, 8th in rushing, 18th in passing, 4th in scoring. Eagles offense, 8th overall, 2nd in rushing, 29th in passing offense, and 7th in scoring. And the defense, 1st overall, 10th in the rush, 1st against the pass, and 2nd in the league in scoring. Turnover differential, Chiefs +6, Eagles +11. So
That's another thing though, because they have the best pass defense in the league. The Eagles do,
mhm.
and if you think about it, as much as Pacheco's been good in his career, and as much as Kareem Hunt gets the ball in the end zone, 99% of the time it's from 1 or 2 yards out.
Yeah.
So they're not going to rely on the run game, and then the Eagles defense is it's just as loaded, if not more loaded, than the Chiefs.
Yep. Yep.
Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Slay, Cooper DeJean, C.J. Gardner Johnson, Reed Blankenship,
Mhm.
Josh Sweat. Like, they have a stacked defense, and so do the Chiefs. So it's really going to come down to, I guess it's more than just if. I mean, I think it still is the Eagles' offense getting going, because if Saquon gets going, and if AJ Brown gets going, the defense I think can hold, because yes, Xavier Worthy's breaking out. They have Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Um,
Some guy
so
named Travis Kelce.
yeah. So it's like, that was for all the ladies that watch our show. You know. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a defensive game, but I think that, I feel it's going to be a defensive game, but I think that if those two get going, then it'll fall in favor of the Eagles. But I'm pretty sure the over under is like 48.5 or something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Fair enough.
so I would slam the under, but
Yeah. Let's see. Looking at the betting lines here, yeah, a lot of the spreads are, -1, -1.5 at best for the Chiefs. Over under, yeah, all these over unders are sitting at least 48.5, some as high as 50.5, and
where are you getting 50? What?
that's on. Let's see. Looks like I'm not sure what betting site that is, but
What's the
there
logo
is
look
one.
like?
Doesn't even show a logo. It just says open.
Hmm.
So I don't know. That might not be an actual site, but most of the actual betting sites like DraftKings, FanDuel, and all that are sitting at 48.5. Looks like one is
Where
at 49. Who is this?
where are you seeing?
Sports. Oh,
What
bet.
website are you on?
I'm on VegasInsider.com, buddy.
Oh, we're getting the inside scoop.
Yeah, buddy. Come on now. I got
Uh,
you. Yeah, so it looks like BetMGM has them at
oh,
49.
oh, it opened at 50.5. That's what the
Oh,
line
oh,
was when it opened.
oh. I see. I
It
see.
just
Dude,
says
can you tell? Can
open.
you tell that I don't really bet? Can you tell I'm not?
Wait, it
I'm not
says
on any of this.
open.
I didn't know if they like just opened their new betting site or something.
Oh, yeah, BetMGM's the only one that's not 48.5.
All right, so there's the lines for you for all of our fellow degenerate gamblers out there. I know Bruce is already cooking up his parlay as we're speaking. Look, for me, the key matchup is, like you said, can the Chiefs stop Saquon Barkley? Can Chris Jones, Tershawn Wharton, George Karlaftis, Mike Dan, all those guys, can they, slow down Barkley and put pressure on Jalen Hurts? That's
Can
what this
Jake
comes
Elliott
down
kick a
to.
field goal?
Jake Elliott kicking field goals is also going to be important, but it's big. Obviously, you got to put pressure on Jalen Hurts and Saquon in the early downs, but can you stand tall and not break when it's 3rd and short, 4th and short, and they get tasked with stopping the tush push? Can they stop a tush push from 4th and 1 or 4th and goal, whatever it may be? there's, that's what this is really going to come down to. Obviously, Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are going to make some plays too, but at the end of the day, can the big boys up front get stops on, those third and fourth and shorts? Because that's huge. That's everything. You get your defense off the field, you get your offense another chance to score. Not too many injury issues to really look out for. The only player for the Chiefs who was limited in practice was Sky Moore, the wide receiver. He's unlikely to play. Eagles.
Well, that's a big loss.
Yeah, I know. That's brutal. I mean, Chiefs might be underdogs now. For the Eagles, it looks like Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, and Kenny Gainwell were all limited this week, but all expected to play. Brandon Graham is expected to make his return to the Eagles as well, coming off IR and playing the Super Bowl. So Eagles a little beat up, but still should be at full strength. And I don't know, man. Like I could see the Eagles winning this, but the Cowboy fan in me just refuses to say that. I refuse. I'm going with the Mahomes magic, baby.
That's crazy.
I'm taking the Chiefs all day. Look, they always find ways to win.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. In a non-biased world,
at the end of the day, if you're in a situation to lead a game-winning drive, who do you have more faith in? The Chiefs
Tom Brady
or the Eagles? Oh, okay. Well, between Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, who do you have more faith in to lead a game-winning drive? You don't have to think too much. You can say Mahomes. I know you don't want to, but it's okay. You can say Mahomes. Just come on. It's just ready.
I want my lawyer.
Mahomes.
I want my lawyer.
Say with me, Ma.
You can take this up with my lawyer.
So Bruce has officially pleaded the fifth on this topic of conversation. But the thing with the Eagles too, they are a play from ahead team. They get up on you early, and then they ground and pound, and they wear you out. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that against Kansas City. They were able to do that in all their first 3 playoff games, especially against Washington. But against Kansas City, where odds are they're going to be neck and neck with you the whole way, and you can't just play ahead and rely on, establishing the run and eating up the time of possession. At some point, the Chiefs are going to force you to pass the ball and sling it deep. And Jalen Hurts, I think, has improved a lot this postseason. I'm not sure if I'm ready to admit that he's improved enough to go toe-to-toe in a shootout with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm going to tweak, I guess, a little bit what I said earlier, because I think it's going to be a defensive game, like I said, in my personal opinion. But realistically, I said it, Saquon or A.J. Brown has to get going. But I feel like it's going to come down more on the receiver end of things for the Eagles if they want to win. Because, they're more of a run-heavy offense. They have Saquon Barkley. Like, it's a given. They're going to be a run-heavy offense with Saquon. But I feel like if the run gets stopped, which it's going to get stopped at times with the front that the Chiefs have, it's going to get stopped. So if it's going to come down to, can guys make plays? And these guys are good enough to make plays. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they're good enough to make plays when they need to, but it's if they're going to. It's if Hurts is going to get them the ball. It's if they realize early enough in the game, hey, our run game's getting stopped. We need to sling the ball more. And then those guys making plays. Even Goddard, even Dotson, like having other guys that are going to go and make a play, and that's what they're going to need. Because I do feel like Saquon's gonna get stopped. Like he's not just going to drop 250 yards on the ground and breeze to a Super Bowl. Like, that's
the thing. It's not going to be one of those easy, 200 something rushing yard games for Saquon. They're going to make him earn it. They're going to hit him hard. They're going to try to beat him up early. And I don't know. As much as I want the Chiefs.
How do you think the game going to go?
Honestly, if I had to guess, I would say Eagles get up early. Mahomes takes a little bit to really get rolling. He has a couple bad possessions. And then come second half, Eagles might be up a little bit. Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to take the lead, get a big stop, and from there it's going to be all over. I'm expecting the Chiefs to kind of limit Saquon pretty, not easily, but pretty well. Saquon's going to run for 100 yards, but I'm not expecting any big breakaway runs like we saw against Washington and against the Rams. I don't think Saquon gets any of those 50, 60-yard touchdown runs. If the Eagles want to win or want to score, they got to have good, long, sustained drives. And not that that's something they can't do. Having a guaranteed third and short or fourth and short conversion with a tush push is, certainly helpful. But I just don't. I think for me, the main matchup, too, is going to be can the Eagles defense contain Mahomes? Because, the Chiefs wide receiving core without Rashee Rice, they're missing that key number one guy. Xavier Worthy has kind of stepped up into that role as the playoffs have gone on here, but the Chiefs without a main, number one receiver besides Worthy and Travis Kelce, I guess, can the Eagles defense force mistakes from Mahomes? If they know he's going to try and force the ball to Kelce or Worthy, can the Eagles take advantage of that and force turnovers? Obviously, that was the difference maker in the NFC Championship, the 3 turnovers the Eagles forced. If the Chiefs can protect the ball, honestly, for the Kansas City, they can live with field goals every now and again. I'm not expecting Kansas City to go for it on all these fourth downs or anything and try to, catch the Eagles off guard. They're just going to take their 3, but they're going to have well-sustained drives, not turn the ball over and protect the football. And I think that's where the Chiefs find their success in this one. As long as they protect the football and limit the turnovers, they're not going to give the Eagles too much momentum. So I think that's what this one comes down to. I'm still taking the Chiefs. As good as the Eagles defense is, number 1 in the league, I got to go with the Chiefs. It would honestly, I'd probably get struck down and to death if I picked the Eagles right now. That's just the Cowboys fan in me. I would rather chew glass than pick the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
That's fair. Do you have I guess a sleeper take on what's going to happen in the game? Like something obscure that's going to happen that you think that what would be your random take that probably won't happen, long shot, but that you think could happen?
I would say one long shot, Saquon
like
rushes
or something.
Yeah. Saquon rushes for under 100 yards. Okay. I think that there is a chance, especially with how beat up the Eagles O-line is. I mean, they had 2 weeks to recover, but we saw with their, what are the names? Their center and their offensive guard that were splitting snaps last week, Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens.
Yeah.
We saw they were pretty beat up. They were hurting. Surely they're going to be much healthier now after a 2-week hiatus, but I could see if this Chiefs defensive line, as Bruce goes horizontal on TikTok here. As I was saying, threw me off there. I could see this Chiefs, especially if the Chiefs go up early. I know I predicted that the Eagles end up with the lead early and Chiefs have to come back, but if Kansas City gets a lead early on and the Eagles now have to not avoid, but if they have to go away from the run game and start really trying to throw the ball and get possessions done quickly, that's when I could see Saquon, not get the rushing yards that we would expect. For the Chiefs, I'd say a sleeper would be Xavier Worthy, 2 touchdowns. I think it's possible. I think it's certainly possible. Kelce is obviously going to be the main guy for Kansas City's offense, but you can't rely on him every single play. He's going to be Mahomes' security blanket, but there's going to be some plays where they're looking for Worthy over top to, get some huge momentum swinging plays against this Eagles defense, because they're hard to come by against the Eagles. With how good their defense is under Vic Fangio, it is hard to get big plays against them and momentum shifters. But I think the Chiefs are going to have a couple lined up.
And Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to have a couple lined up for Xavier Worthy, or at least to get him in space and see what he can do with the ball in his hands. But I guess those would be my main sleepers. Trying to think of anything else. Mahomes, pair of rushing touchdowns too. We saw in the conference championship against the Bills. It was his first ever game with 2 rushing touchdowns in a single postseason game. So I could see him recreating that success, especially if the Eagles are going to fully, sail out to stop the pass and they forget that Mahomes can make them pay with his legs too. I could see Mahomes taking the easy points and just scrambling in for a couple scores. But I guess those would be my main sleeper. Are you feeling any sleeper picks, Bruce?
I am. I'm feeling on the Eagles side, Cooper DeJean pick 6.
Not just pick 6.
Cooper DeJean pick 6. On the Chiefs side, the Chiefs pull out a Philly special.
You see Mahomes getting a receiver.
Xavier Worthy to Patrick Mahomes.
I gotta say, I like your sleeper picks more.
Yeah, that's mine too. Because they're playing against Philly, dude. They're breaking out the Philly special.
My main sleeper pick is gonna be Philadelphia is gonna have an opportunity to kick a game-winning field goal, and right as the ball gets snapped, the lights are gonna go out in the stadium.
Jeez.
We're gonna have another blackout,
and then all of a sudden when the lights makes it, but then they don't see that he makes it, so then they have to re-kick it, and he misses it.
Exactly. We, to the people out there that don't know, we're actually the script writers for the NFL.
Yeah,
they come to us every year, and we, get busy and we write down the best storyline script that we can. This one's ending with the Chiefs making history as a 3-peat champion.
No,
at least mine does.
This one's ending with a Patrick Mahomes Hail Mary to try and win it. Cooper DeJean picks it off, and instead of going down, takes it back for pick 6.
Takes it all the way back, fumbles it. Mahomes picks it up. Lateral to Xavier Worthy, who takes it all the way.
No, so, that's right, so we didn't. Cooper DeJean, baby.
All right, so we didn't get to finish writing the ending yet, but
we're still working on it.
Yeah, TJ, I'm taking the over on Taylor Swift appearances for
9
sure.
air appearances totaling 53 yards or 53 seconds of air. I'm
taking the over.
I think I'll take the over on appearances, but the under on time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I think it'll be 3 to 4 seconds an appearance. Some will be like 6 to 7, but I think she'll get like 10 or 11 appearances for about 45 to 50 seconds. It's tough
because if she gets like 1 12-second, long appearance,
it's clipped.
That completely throws us off. So
yeah,
I'm with you. I'll take the under on airtime as well.
Yeah, average every time on your hands.
No, but these are the statistics that we need to know.
If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I've heard that Kelsey will retire and propose.
Or retire and break up.
Imagine how great the NFL would be again.
I know. Well, we're almost there, Bruce. 2 more days. Sunday, 6:30 on Fox. Tom Brady,
maybe
Kevin Burkhardt will be on the call.
Special.
Maybe we will.
No promises though, because I kind of just brought that up and I did not preface this to Vinny, so don't hope that something is gonna happen.
We can try. I'll be down in the basement, so I don't know how the bandwidth is gonna be down there. I did just order a Wi-Fi range extender, so maybe we'll be able to make it work. But
fair enough, dude. I cheated and used ChatGPT to gather all the data.
Hey, fair enough. Use that. Use those
smarter,
resources.
not harder.
Exactly. Well, Bruce, we have reached 12 o'clock. I don't know if you're feeling a little crazy, but I guess we could take a few minutes, play a quick round of Weddle, seeing as it is Super Bowl weekend and it's a football-filled Friday.
We can play a quick one.
If that's not too much, to throw at you all of a sudden.
No, we'll play a quick one.
Ray, we just finished up our predictions. I've got Chiefs. Bruce has Eagles.
Cooper DeJean pick 6.
Yep, couple sleepers. Bruce sees Cooper DeJean getting a pick 6. I see TJ. Appreciate you joining, man. Thank you.
Take care, brother. Take care. Follow at the Regular Fan Show on everything.
Absolutely, at the Regular Fan Show, at Regular Fan Show on Twitter. Make sure you guys hit the like and the follow. But yeah, I've got Chiefs. Bruce got Eagles. I see Saquon in a sleeper, very very big sleeper. I see Saquon going under 100 yards. But think they're going to recreate the Tom Brady comeback with the Chiefs. That'd be crazy. Could you imagine if the Eagles were up, except not 28-3? Let's go 30-0.
No, let's go 24-0. It's got to be less. It's got to be less.
No, it's got to be more. It's got to be all right. What was it?
That will never happen again. Okay, that will never happen again.
No, let's go.
4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Down 25. You can't tell me that you can't. Don't even bring that up. That's not going to happen.
It's going to be 30-3.
No.
It's going to be 30-3, and the Chiefs are going to pull out some magic.
Pick a player. No.
Patrick Mahomes, the guy that's going to lead the Chiefs to a 30-3 comeback against the Eagles. That's not who I said. All right, but we got it. We got the QB though. You know what? Patrick Mahomes.
He's not in the same draft class as Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, same age. Okay, so who else got drafted with Jalen Hurts? Baker Mayfield? No, he's in the NFC.
Yes, he is.
I don't even know if Baker was that same draft class. Baker was what, like 2016?
I don't even know.
No. We're not going to cheat. We're not cheating.
I was just looking up what draft class Baker Mayfield was.
Let's see. 26-year-old quarterback in the AFC. Who else is like kind of young? Well, let's see. Justin Fields. Was he the same draft class?
He's in the NFC.
No, he's on the Steelers.
Oh yeah, he is. It is updated now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was 1 year.
Oh, so he was one year younger. I guess they could be the same draft class, just different ages. But okay, so we know it's not the AFC North. Let's see, what are the other divisions looking like? We could go Josh Allen. Do you think he's 20? No, I feel like he's got to be older than 26 now.
I know he was with Justin Herbert.
Tua definitely can't be in the same age as Jalen Hurts. They played together at Alabama. Yeah. Nobody on the Jets. Definitely can't be Patriots. Lamar had to be drafted before Jalen Hurts. Oh, and it's also not the AFC North. CJ Stroud, no way. Too young. Anthony Richardson, no way. Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Let's try it. And they're taller than 6'3", too, so they got to be a big boy. Let's try T-Law, who isn't even in the game.
What?
I don't get how they can do this, man. All right, let's pivot. We'll go Will Levis.
Okay, there's no way. If it's Will Levis. Okay.
All right. So they're 6'5".
I was gonna say Joe Burrow, but it's not Joe Burrow.
Well, it's either AFC West or East.
That's what I'm saying. It's not Joe Burrow.
Mahomes? No, Mahomes is definitely older than 26. Broncos, there's no one really on the Broncos. Who sits behind Bo Nix? I can't remember who it is. Chargers, Justin Herbert? Is Herbert 6'5"?
Herbert was, I mean, I don't, was Jalen Hurts? No, he definitely wasn't in the draft class with,
Yeah, but I don't really know if draft class helps us that much because these guys could be different ages.
Actually, I think you're right.
Yeah. There we go. That's a good round.
I think they were in the same draft class because that draft class was
Burrow. What was that, like 2018?
2020, wasn't it?
Was it? Oh, yeah. Oh, 2018 was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, because Burrow, Herbert.
Yeah, Burrow.
Tua, Jordan Love.
Yep.
I don't know anyone else from that, to be honest.
CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, I was going quarterbacks. I don't know.
No, I know. Yeah, you are You are indeed right.
I was about to
All
say,
right.
I was
You know
like,
what?
wait a second. I don't know why I thought Mahomes and
Yeah, but
Herbert were the same draft class.
Yeah, but where did Jalen Hurts get drafted though? You didn't go first
He
round
was
in
a second
2020.
rounder, I'm pretty sure.
Was he really?
Yeah,
Let's see. Oh, T. Higgins was a second rounder.
he was a
So
second
Xavier
rounder.
McKinney, Jonathan Taylor. There's a lot of good second round picks in this draft. Oh yeah, he was second rounder. 53rd overall pick to Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Well, good round of Weddle there, Bruce. We did pretty solid. You know, when it's not a tight end, some random backup tight end, we do pretty good.
Some random backup that they list as the starter.
All right, my friend. Well, as always, it was a good time. Appreciate everybody hopping in the chat and joining us on TikTok and everything. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, whatever you may be on, hit that follow, hit that subscribe, hit the like button, ding the bell. Make sure you get those notifications on. Hit up the Regular Fan Show on socials, just Regular Fan Show on Twitter. And we'll be back at it Tuesday morning at 11 a.m., breaking down the Super Bowl and the rest of the weekend in sports. It's your guys,
UFC.
Bruce Juno. Yes, big UFC weekend.
UFC.
Let's see if today's the day, Bruce. I will say I did skip arm day yesterday.
If you miss it, the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
All right, well, this is going in. It did not go in. Congratulations, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. You are Super Bowl champions. Hopefully not. But again, thank you for just stopping by, everybody. We'll be back at it on Tuesday morning with the Regular Fan Show. Vinny Fredericks, Bruce Juno signing off. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody.
Take care, y'all.
Peace.